A prisoner from HMP Wandsworth has been charged with the murder and rape of his 2-year-old daughter. Now, this is absolutely sickening. What is going on with these types of offenders? Another Jamie Varley. That's what this horrible piece of dirt actually is. Now, I'm surprised I haven't seen this, or anybody hasn't even sent me this. So that goes to show that not a lot of people are actually aware of this case. And it only happened on the 28th of June, I believe it was. It was at the end of June, and it's absolutely harrowing. So the man in question, or shall we say the monster in question, is Kerjean, 31-year-old, who is a French national born in the Central African Republic. And he appeared at Guildford Crown Court via video link from HMP Wandsworth and spoke via an interpreter to confirm his name. What an absolute animal, and what must have been going on inside of that house with his own 2-year-old daughter. This is absolutely depravity at its worst. These type of offenders, it's absolutely, you can tell by my expressions, people, but these stories need to be told, because why is this not national headlines? Like I say, I don't watch the news very often, but I do have a look on the news outlets, News Now, which gives me the prison news and the headline news. So why is this not made the headlines? This innocent little child was 2-year-old. This 2-year-old innocent kid has been taken. Her name was Asaya Kerjean, or Kerjean, however you pronounce it. But this is absolutely despicable. But according to a police spokesman, the Home Office has confirmed Kerjean legally entered the UK and applied for European Union settled status in December 2020. He was granted leave to remain in the UK in March 2021 and received an extension which gave him permission to remain until March 2031. So I'm just going to read another article here, people, that is the latest one. And the headline on this one, but the outlet, this is actually from the Daily Record. But like I've said, I normally get inundated with emails and messages when offences or murders and atrocities like this take place, so that I can give my subscribers and viewers the lowdown about the case and what will happen to him inside of prison. 2-year-old girl found dead in home as father faces murder and rape charges. Hopefully it doesn't flag up, because I have said that term, but we will see. Normally, I've got to say grape or other words, because like I've just said, it flags up and the video doesn't get shown. So Kerjean, 31, obviously it's going to say accused, because he hasn't been on trial for it yet or been found guilty or admitted to it, is accused of raping a child under 13 and murder following the death of his 2-year-old daughter in Surrey. Now, what I can't get away with this as well, when it says when this has happened to a child, even though it's a baby, it's an infant, 2-year-old, the charges are a child under 13. Why under 13? It should be an infant. But anyways, the 31-year-old man has appeared in court charged with the murder of his 2-year-old daughter after her body was discovered at her home. The French national born in the Central African Republic has been charged. He was brought before Guildford Crown Court on Monday, the 29th of June, and was remanded in custody ahead of a further hearing scheduled for September the 14th. Surrey police confirmed that the victim was the daughter. Officers were called to an address in Percroft Road, Chertsey, at around 4:40 p.m. on Thursday the 25th of June, following report of a safety concern. Responding officers found the girl dead inside the property, leading to an investigation being set by the force's major crime team, which remains ongoing to establish the circumstances of her death. This is a tragic incident, and our thoughts are with the child's mother and extended family, as well as those who knew her. So the child's mother as well, so obviously she's been living there in the home as well, and somebody must have had suspicions to have called the police, and the coppers have went in and found the innocent little toddler in whatever state she's been found in by that absolute monster, what he went on to do to her. So it says our teams are working hard to build a picture of what happened, and a significant police presence will remain in Percroft Road over the coming days. Where are the protests? Where is the outrage? What is going on? We appreciate that the incident itself, as well as the significant police presence, will be concerning for residents, and we would like to thank them for their cooperation as we conduct our investigation. Members of the public with any information that might assist Surrey Police's investigation have been asked to get in touch via the Major Incident Public Portal. So, anybody that knows this absolute beast, this wrong'un, has got any information on him about what he might have been capable of, again, if there was suspicions of this absolute creature cretin doing these despicable deeds, especially from the mother, because someone, like I've said, has thought something untoward and called the police. Why would you call the police if it was just a normal everyday thing where you couldn't get into the house or something like that? You wouldn't immediately think something like that had happened, but unfortunately it has. And that absolute monster, it's bad enough when somebody does it to children anyways, but doing it to his own child as well. Like a loving, caring parent, a father, does everything he can to protect his little one. If anybody harms the little one in the way he's harmed his, then the father or the parents are out for justice, because that's what loving parents do. But this absolute monster has done the worst thing, but this couldn't have just been a one-off. He must have been doing this for those 2 years whilst that little one had been living with him. Maybe he's had the mother under some sort of control and beaten her and doing whatever, and she's just kept quiet because that wrong'un has had power over her. But whatever, it will be coming out when the trial comes out. Same with Jamie Varley case, with poor little Preston Davy. There wasn't much public outrage or outcry, or there wasn't much in the public domain when the murder actually took place and what they actually done to that poor little one. But obviously, they've got to keep things quiet or remain in close quarters, shall we say, until the trial, so they have a fair trial, even though they don't need a fair trial because the evidence is there. It's them that done it. They are fucking guilty. They don't need a trial. They need... I'll keep quiet on that. You know what I'm trying to say, what they need. Got to be careful on here. People have got to be professional. But the evidence, once everything comes out at trial, that's when afterwards it is brought to the public domain and people are aware of what actually went on. But that wrong'un is now sitting inside of HMP Wandsworth on the bacon wing. That bacon who can't even speak English, or this is what they normally do. Been living in the UK since 2020, been given status until 2031, and he needs an interpreter. Why do you need an interpreter? Because you're that much of a coward. You don't want to answer the questions. You don't want to say it yourself because you're a coward and you're using your dialect. You can't speak because you don't know how to speak English. Absolute garbage. But that wronging on the bacon wing inside of HMP Wandsworth, or because he can't speak English, he might not know what the officers are saying, and they might have put him inside of general population. I wonder about that one, people. Does anybody know anybody inside of HMP Wandsworth who can keep us updated on this monster? Because, like I say, they probably have put him on the bacon wing, the nonce wings, the absolute monster wings, and he'll get prison justice at some point, because someone who does that type of despicable deed to an innocent little one is worthy of prison justice, because sometimes prison justice is the best form of justice, because the justice that is dished out by the courts isn't severe enough. So these wrong'uns have to live in fear of the Ian Huntley, the Ian Watkins and the Kyle Bevan treatment, because there is a long-running list of individuals, or shall we say vermin, who is on the list in the high security estate to be taken out inside of prison by the other prisoners, because that is exactly what happens to pieces of dirt like this. But I will keep you updated, people, on what is going on with this case. And I've already told you on this channel previously what happens inside a prison. Prison justice, we all know the three wrong'uns that I've just mentioned there. They get Mars bars down the face, they get gayed up, they get napalm gayed up as boiled up butter, margarine, boiled up ghee, chucked in the individual's face and makes them scarred for life. That is one form of prison justice. The other form, like I've just said, Mars bar rhymes with scar. Sometimes it's a double-edged Mars bar, so that when the slice open, they cannot be stitched up when they go to the hospital. And that's when you know you see a proper wrong'un inside a jail. If you see someone walking about with a big Mars bar, then they've done something seriously wrong. They're either a snitch or, like I've just said, a wrong'un. A snitch is a wrong'un, but you know what I'm trying to say, people. A wrong'un is a bacon, and the bacons get bashed. But I'm going to leave that one there for now, people. Hopefully you are enjoying the content. And if you are, remember to comment, like and subscribe. Take care, everyone. But most importantly, stay safe.